Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. I'm Peter Loshak. Today is Tuesday, July 25th. This is the morning show we do every day at 10:30 Eastern Time. I give my official picks in baseball. Yesterday was a tough day. It was a losing day for me. I had a couple of winners, and the big fade of the day of Bartolo Colon, the first 5 innings. The low-hanging fruit was a push. And Bartolo Colon actually might have pitched well enough to give himself another start, especially if he has other reasons for looking to continue to stay in the majors, as we've discussed a bunch of times. So we might get another chance to fade Bartolo Colon. That's why the half runs matter. If you got 5, you got to push. If you got 5.5, you had to take a loss there. I had just a loser with my fade of Leak yesterday. That was a bad call. And of course the under in Houston Philly. We had a commenter on YouTube saying that he loved Houston, that Houston was going to get over 9.5 all by themselves, and they did. Although, of course, that was also a game that was aided by quirkiness in terms of the bullpens and stuff with the rain delay. But chugging along, today is Tuesday. July 25th, there's a bunch of vague leans that I have on totals, and nothing really super strong, except, of course, for Wade Miley starting for Baltimore, and it is kind of a fade Wade Miley day. My biggest bet of the overnights or of the openers so far has been one of those first 5-inning team totals. I took Tampa Bay first 5 innings over 2 at -160. I haven't given those picks in this show, but Matty, guys, am I allowed to give those picks? Those first 5. I mean, Pinnacle has them. The first 5 innings team totals.
Yeah, of course. We've given those picks before.
Really? I've never given one in this show. Just because it's such a small market, but why not? Yeah,
I feel like we used to have somebody else on the show who might have given.
Yeah,
those picks.
I mean,
I don't really remember.
They started to give those picks.
Yeah, that's of course.
I can.
Yeah,
all right, I'll throw that one. All right, I'll make that one a pick. Pinnacle does offer these, and Heritage.
You know what it is? The roundtable guys. Donnie likes to give those sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there are picks where once in a while you can identify.
Yeah, look, if you can. Here's my theory.
Yeah.
Or my opinion. If you can get it at a book like Pinnacle, you said that's not a little shitty rinky-dinky book. So yeah, I mean, if you can get it at a major spot, then 100% absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll throw that one on there as a no-brainer pick, and that is official. Look, that's a low-hanging fruit pick right there.
Say it again for me, Sam.
Oh, I'm sorry?
Say it again for me.
It is Tampa Bay, first 5 innings, team total over 2, -160. It's a high line, but not a super high line. And look, if Wade Miley can come in and hold Tampa Bay to 1 run or 0 runs in the first 5 innings, congratulations. And the books will have my 1.5 of more than a 1.5, my -160 loss right there. But Wade Miley really been struggling, very consistently crappy. And, not unthinkable that he'll have, a good 5-inning start here, but pretty unlikely. That's my definitely my best bet of the day. Also counts as low-hanging fruit. If you wanted to take the Tampa Bay team total over on the full game, it would be 4.5, which is probably still a good bet. A little dicier, but probably
Oh my God, my hair looks crazy.
Okay.
I think we're good.
Okay. Can we go back on?
Sorry for not combing my hair.
All right, everyone. Sorry about that. Again, look, as a company, we can only afford, we pay like $19.95 a month for our internet connection here, and sometimes it does go out. Why don't we have a better internet connection? Because we simply cannot afford it. And that's the answer, and it's just a reality we all have to live with here at sportsbookreview.com.
Speaking of which, if you'd like to donate to our internet fund,
yes,
we'll be setting up a Patreon account.
Yes.
Because Pete's having a real tough time downloading porn at night.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, you make the best of what you have in life, and if you work for a company and the internet is $19.95 a month, that's what you work with. All right, so it says unable to connect to chat. Please try again later.
That's okay. I'll fix that in a second.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So, but we are going again.
We are live.
All right. Okay. So once again, my top play so far of the day would be Tampa Bay 2, first 5 innings, team total over 2 minus 160. I did bet that one. That was my biggest bet. Did also take a shot with the Tampa Bay -1 line on the overnight. And again, there are a bunch of Matty is about to do another technical wizardry, MacGyvering here, trying to get us back on chat. Here, what do you need?
Nothing. Just keep talking.
Okay, and there's a bunch of totals plays that I have roughly lukewarm leans towards. We can go over all of them right now. First of all, this one might be a little bit more than lukewarm, and it is the White Sox and Cubs over 8.5. I did bet that one. Obviously, Rodon is, you never know what you're going to get from him. High potential, but when his control is off, he's terrible. And Lackey is diminished stuff. Probably going to give up some runs, and it's a relatively low total, over 8.5. That's a bet that I definitely made. I'll probably wind up giving that one in this show. Would also lean the first 5 innings over. I also bet that one a bit as well. And yesterday, we had a commenter saying that the White Sox seemed like massive value in the game yesterday. And, of course, they did come and win it. I didn't have a chance to crunch that one by the time the show started. But when I looked at that game later on, yes, it just seemed like the line was too high. I did make that one a pick on my personal accounts, and that one did cash. Today, well, I'm not going to be betting the Cubs, that's for sure. I'm not going to be betting the White Sox either, though. The line looks approximately correct. And in the next 2 games in this series, I'm probably going to be leading Cubs. We'll see what the line is. It might be a bit lower because for the Cubs, because the Cubs will be the road team in those 2 games, and the pitching matchups in those 2 games favor the Cubs significantly, I think. So we'll see what the lines are for there. But clearly, as expected, once the Cubs start putting a few wins together, the lines start getting real inflated real fast. Only takes a couple wins for the Cubs to start being priced as an elite team, as opposed to the Astros, where it took actually quite a while for that to happen. So my lean for that game would definitely be on the over 8.5. Then I would also be leaning under in the Cincinnati Yanks game. I liked it when it opened at 10. Crashed, though, down to 9. Not sure how I feel about it at that line. We'll get to that game in a second, a bit later maybe. And then also the under in Milwaukee, Washington. Obviously, it's a high total of 10. Understandable because Davies and Jackson are starting. And Davies and Jackson, in general, 2 very vulnerable starting pitchers. But Davies, one way or another, does seem to get it done on the road more often than not. And Edwin Jackson, is obviously he has been terrible at times in his career, but his AAA starts this year were good. His first start back in the majors this year was decent. So he might be in for a somewhat surprisingly better than expected run of starts here, at least for the next 4 or 5 starts. We'll see what we get from Jackson, but signs are somewhat promising. Davies, again, a guy who is a bit effective on the road, more so on the road, and I definitely would be leaning under 10 in that one, despite the 2 starting pitchers. Then the Houston-Philly game, that's a tricky one. Again, we saw yesterday what happened with that total, and Peacock was going, thought he was going to have a strong start, but then the rain out, affected that. Morton and Pivetta, the line opened at 10. It's now down to 8.5, which is a surprising crash there. There might be some lineup issues there for Houston that I'm not aware of. I'll have to look into that. I would be leaning over on that one, but that is not one of my lukewarm leans. That's sort of a head-scratching total there. Another lean that I have is the under 9.5 in Oakland, Toronto. Obviously, Sonny Gray is starting pitching very well, getting into a nice groove. And then Toronto has a guy making a spot start, Valdez, and he is a guy who has done well in some long relief spots for Toronto recently. And a lot of times these guys, when they come in from the bullpen as long relievers and make spot starts, do give you a couple of decent quality 5-inning starts when they first join the rotation or when they make their spot starts. And I would be leaning under 9.5 in that one for sure. Then there's the rematch of Duffy and Fulmer in KC and Detroit. You know, my gut tells me that Fulmer gets revenge here and that Detroit is the play here. And I'll probably be betting them on the first 5 innings, although I haven't done that yet. And that's definitely a lead, but not sure if I'm going to give it as a pick. I'm still burned because that was the game on last Thursday that ended my winning streak in the second half of the season here. And then, of course, the Baltimore-Tampa Bay game. Tampa Bay over 2 minus 160 is the low-hanging fruit play of the day, best bet of the day. And then also the under, I think, in the Miami-Texas game, Hamels and Straley. I have been down on Hamels considerably, and I was expecting him to get hit in general. But he has given some decent starts, and Miami might be losing Justin Bauer here. I have to check to see whether he's out of the lineup or in. But I know he had an injury where he came out of the last game, and I suspect that he'll be out here. Straley also had a thumb injury in his last start, which made him a little bit ineffective. But I think he'll probably have a better start here. High total, and that's another lean under 10.5 in the Miami-Texas game, and then also a very, very small lean under in the Colorado-St. Louis game. Both Gray and Lynn have big arms. Gray has had a couple of bad starts recently. He had a weirdly terrible start on the road against the Mets, but I think we can assume that was roughly a blip in the road for him, or a speed bump. And I think he'll probably have a good start here. So but 8.5 is a very low total. We saw St. Louis obviously score a lot yesterday, and their lineup can be productive. So and Lynn is reliable, but not always going to give you a good start. So that would be just a very lukewarm lean to the under 8.5 on that one. And that's about it. I also bet the over 7 in the Pittsburgh-St. Louis game. Tyon against Bumgarner. It's now up to 7.5, although the Greek still has 7 minus 120. Bumgarner, of course, looking not too bad in his 2 starts back, but he did give up 4 home runs in his 2 starts, both against San Diego. Not a terribly powerful lineup. Tyon coming off a high pitch count, and it's just a low total. So one way or another, I think that it might get to 7 or higher. I did bet that one a bit when it was at 7. Now it's up to 7.5, and those are all my leans. Let's get quick. So far I've only given one official pick. That is low hanging fruit of the day. All best right. Bet of the day. Tampa Bay. First 5 innings, team total over 2 minus 160. Fade of Wade Miley.
All right.
Fade of Wade Miley.
Fade the Wade.
Yeah. Yes.
Leo on Instagram, real quick. I do put up pizza, low hanging fruit, and best bets on the Twitter every day. I don't put all of his picks up because that would take me all day.
Yes, and once again, even yesterday, kind of a shitty day, kind of a crappy day, and it was cutting it close as hell. It did get a push, though. The over 5 in the first 5 innings did get a push, and it was kind of like a worst-case scenario. Bartolo Colon actually did have a decent start, and we did need Minnesota to take care of 2 of those runs, but they did it. Bartolo Colon did give us 3 runs, so the Dodgers did get 3 runs in the bottom of the 5th, and we did get a push there. And I think it's a similar situation today with the Tampa Bay first 5 innings, team total over 2 minus 160. It could lose, but I think you're getting some nice value there. Wade Miley is very, 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 very vulnerable. And Tampa Bay, certainly has good enough bats to put 2 up against him in the first 5. All right, let's see. You think Bartolo Colon's going to get another start?
Here's the thing I was going to bring up earlier about it, but I didn't want to interrupt you. As far as I know, I mean, it's not like he's setting the world on fire, but it's kind of his decision whether or not he was going to retire. I don't think he was getting pushed out. And they just brought him in. They knew what they're getting.
Yeah.
So, again, I believe what I read was that he wants to become the winningest Dominican pitcher, which I think he only needs 1 more win. And it was like a promise he made to his mother or something. But, so, yeah, I think so, if he wants to. And I think he wants to.
Yeah. So maybe what he should do is just go to them and say, like, look, I'm fat. I'm 45. I suck. Let me just get a start against San Francisco. Or what they could do is put him in one of those like sneaky relief roles where he gets like he pitches a third of an inning, but he's like in line.
That's
for the
a
win.
Good idea.
Yeah,
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, that's kind of cheap. But all right, the point is that his start last night was a little. He didn't get crushed from the get-go, so we might see yet another start from Bartolo.
So. I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope so. Let's see. Before you get into your questions, let me do my little thing here. Let's see. Beat the Bag, our NFL contest, is really starting to heat up. We got people filing in droves now, and why wouldn't you? It's a free $25,000 contest. You got to just beat Jimmy the Bag. You know, it's not all that complicated, guys. You can figure it out. Straight up football betting. So you got a few.
So that's the new Beat the Prick contest.
No. Well, it's just different.
Oh, they're having 2 of them.
Absolutely.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
We got contests on contests going head to head with other contests. Got a lot going on. But I mean, what, August something or other is NFL kickoff, so you got some time. But get in there, start talking shit with the guys, start sharing, start researching, because I know I could use some money, and I'm sure you guys could too. Also, we still got a few tickets left to IFBC, so check out ifbc.live. Or you can DM us on Twitter, or just leave a comment right here in the comments section, which I'm looking at right now. And maybe we'll get back to you and offer you a trip to come on down and hang out with us. You know, get a little crazy.
And even just there's a $5,000 poker contest and all that.
There is a $5,000 poker contest. Yes, thank you for bringing that up.
But I'm not in. We're not eligible.
We are not eligible.
Damn it!
Unfortunately.
Why not? All right. So
I mean, that makes sense, right? Because then you do some kinky shit or whatever. Not that we're going to. I guarantee that we would all lose pretty quickly, because I don't think anybody here is that good at poker. Dude,
I think someone just gave us $5. Is that what this is? James Reno? Did James Reno just kick us a 5 spot?
How did he? Yes, he did.
Oh,
thank you, James Reno.
James Reno, thanks so much.
We'll put that to the internet fund.
Yeah. I better get 50 cents of that, though.
My nephew turned 18 1 week before July MLB contest. He's currently ranked 14th. Can SBR award a prize for youngsters kicking so much ass? 18, that's old enough.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. He's currently ranked 14 award a prize. Yes, absolutely.
You just gave us a prize.
Yeah,
Why don't you guys come down to Costa Rica? That's a good happy birthday present.
Yeah.
James Reno, you got Twitter or something? I'd like to talk to you.
I better see my 50 cents cut of that in my next paycheck, or heads are going to roll.
Here. Oh, my wallet's
all right. Thank you very much. I get 10% of that, damn it.
Oh, James Reno.
No, I'm kidding.
I don't get any on YouTube. I forgot we even set that up.
All right, so let's get back to the comments and the games. Enough joking around. Thanks so much, James Reno, for that very funny.
Now we can pay for internet tomorrow.
Yes. All right, Nicholas Susi says giving Pete $5 is like giving Pete 500 with his picks.
I think that was a compliment.
Oh,
yeah.
Was it?
I think so.
Oh, I thought he was saying like.
Or you could turn 5 into 500.
No, he's saying like for me $5 is a lot of money because I have no money because of my picks suck. Or no, he's saying that I can turn 5 into $500.
I'm always optimistic.
Yeah. All right, Nicholas Susi, thanks for that joke. No matter which way you intended it, we definitely appreciate that it was a joke. Nicholas Susi, thanks for your comments. All right.
Wow.
Let's get back to the handicapping. First, I'm going to go to see if there are any comments on some of the games that I mentioned here. Nicholas says, "No, I meant 5 for 500." I don't know what he said. I guess he's saying that I can. Demons Are Real says Pete's picks are a-okay. All right, thanks very much. Let's get back to the.
Oh, by the way, guys, I linked directly to that contest in the description of this video, so you can just click down there.
Okay, let's see. Josh Miller saying Tampa has been awful recently too. Yes, it's just that it's a fade of Wade Miley. The total is low. Obviously, it could lose. And at minus 300, maybe I wouldn't take it. But at minus 160, that's definitely low enough for me to take it. That's the line that I bet. At Heritage is actually 164 at Pinnacle, and the Heritage line was a little bit better at minus 160, which is a good sign. So there we go. Rudgoo says, I have to make Miley beat me today, period. Yes, that's how I feel. If Miley throws 5 innings, gives up 1 run, congratulations.
He's not beating anybody else. So.
Yeah, I will easily eat my loss. Okay, Tomarino Tomor, as always, with insightful comments. I think Colon will get a chance with someone this year to be a relief pitcher. He seems okay the first couple times through the lineup. Yeah. I mean, and if he does become a relief pitcher,
how can I get hold of you on Twitter?
Sorry?
Keep going, sorry.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens, and I think we will see another start from him. Juan White says Miley stinks. Yes, he certainly does. He certainly does. Let's see. Other comments here. I'm just looking for comments on our games. Yes, everyone agreeing with the Wade Miley pick. Everyone commenting it on their own. Akko Schofield says Wade Miley over low-hanging fruit. Rudgoo says, Tomarino, I agree. As long as I'm not betting 3 units to win 1, I'll pay for 2 at the most. Value is value. Yes. Hamels has been great against left-hand Australians in bad form. I don't want to lay minus 140 with Hamels, but Miami isn't hitting other than Stanton. And I think Bauer is out for Miami as well. So I'm leaning under on that one for sure. Let's see. Other comments. Jared Schrader says, what was the low-hanging fruit? I missed it. Yesterday it was the team total. It was the over 5 first half in the Dodgers game with pushed. And today it is Tampa Bay first 5 innings, team total over 2, minus 160. That's the first time I've ever given a first 5 innings team total play, but they do offer them at Pinnacle and a bunch of other places. And I would give other picks as low-hanging fruit sooner than but for today's card, that's the one play that I'm really liking. And then all the other picks that I have are sort of very slight to lukewarm leans. So that is that. Let's see. Another comments. Rudgoo asking, how do you guys feel about Fulmer today? Yeah. I'm guessing that it's not a high line for Detroit here. I'm guessing that Fulmer has a good start, bounces back from his last start. Duffy can be good, but I think Duffy got a little bit of a break in his last start from getting such a big cushion early on. Detroit can hit lefties, so I mean it doesn't help that JD Martinez isn't with Detroit anymore. But I would expect Detroit to do well here, and I might bet Detroit on the first 5 innings. All right, let's see. Tomarino Tomer says, I think Jackson is in a letdown spot after a solid last start. Davies has been solid, and the Cubs struggle against right-handed pitching. He's actually facing the Nationals here, Tomarino Tomer. But yeah, I agree with you that Jackson makes me nervous to bet on him to have a good start, but it's a high total. And again, Davies is decent, on the road as well. So I'd be leaning under on that one. Let's see. Hako Schofield says, we need the Yankee shirt. Yeah, maybe I will start wearing that shirt again for some reason. I just did it as a little, superstitious thing a couple weeks ago, and it certainly, love Poontang says, Pete, how many wins until you wear a jersey again? All right, so maybe I should have some sort of little game where if I'm able to accomplish some sort of like moderately difficult handicapping feat, I'll start wearing a shirt again or something like that, a jersey or something like that. Some kind of superstitious thing. I think that is a nice little thing to add in this show. All right, let's see. A lot of funny comments, ton of comments. Wow, ton of comments. Thanks everyone for all these. I don't even know where to start. Hako Schofield says, might have to put Yankee shirt on, Pete. Yes, maybe I do have to put on the Yankee shirt. Okay. Too many comments for me to get to all of them. Holy crap. All right. Okay. A lot of people discussing this Miami and Texas game. Someone else commented that Bauer is on the is going on the DL, so that makes Miami's lineup pretty chintzy. They obviously still have Yelich and Stanton and all that, but in general a bit chintzy. And Texas wasn't hitting that well either, so I'm leaning under on that game for sure. Let's see. Tomarino Tomo says, I think Hamels is a situational play against lineups loaded with left-handed hitters. Seems like a good matchup here. Miami has a lot of left-handed bats and isn't hitting well. Yeah. Let's see. Love Poontang says, Peter, you liking Morton and Astros over Philly? Yeah, a little bit. I'm leaning the over on that one, and I'm also leaning Houston -1. I'm going to have to look at the lineup and just check to make sure that everything is copacetic in terms of who's in the lineup for Houston. But yeah, that does seem like a kind of a no-brainer play. Charlie Morton starting to show some chinks in his armor, but still getting decent results. And Pivetta, another one of these Phillies youngsters who has some nice long-term potential. Right now doesn't quite have the secondary pitches to be reliable in the majors, but a strong 7-inning start against anyone would not be a surprise, although it would be more surprising against Houston than anyone else. So Pivetta probably gets hit. Morton is probably okay, and I think we probably more likely than not see something similar to what we saw yesterday. Houston winning easily and the over covering and Houston -1 covering. But it's definitely concerning to me that the total has taken a huge drop, right? It opened at about 10, I think, and now it's down to 8.5. So that's something I definitely need to look into very carefully. I did actually bet the over 9 on my personal account on the overnight line, and now it's dropped a half run more down to 8.5. And I did also make a small play on Houston -1. So yes, I would agree with that. I'm leaning Houston -1 and the over in that one. Although again, I'm gonna have to revisit this game to figure out what the hell happened with that line move and why the total took such a sharp drop down. Yes, Tomer says Pivetta has good velocity, but he's not locating right now, and he's also Pivetta also is just having trouble with his secondary pitches. Yes, so again, if Tomori brings up a good point. So, a youngster like Pivetta with high upside can at any time unexpectedly have a good start. And we've already seen that even from Pivetta this year. Pivetta has had some excellent 7-inning starts. So, if Pivetta is on point tonight, it would not be a surprise. I do think it's probably an okay bet to bet that he's not, though. All right, let's see. Yeah, Albert Perez asking about, I'm leaning Clevenger too. Here we friggin' go again, right? Cleveland as a big home favorite again. And, when I look at this line on the overnight, there's no way I was taking it at like 166, which is what it was then. And I was like, listen, if this line drops 20 cents, maybe I'll take a shot with it. I did bet the under 9.5 small on that one. Clevenger is really stringing together strong 6-inning starts in a row right now. And of course, Cleveland, one of the best bullpens in the majors, and the Angels, aside from Trout, not a terribly formidable lineup. So, I could even see a play on the Angels team total under justified. Let me just quickly check what that is at Pinnacle. Let's see. Angels, 4 minus 110. So, it's tempting to take Cleveland here, -1. But I'm not going to. It's just a little bit too high of a favorite line, and Cleveland is still a team that I'm just not I'm not willing to bet on as that big of a home favorite right now. But I would be leaning Cleveland -1, and I did bet the under 9.5 on that game small, and there's still some 9.5s available. So. Let's see some other, Hako Schofield says home on Cleveland is a heart attack game. Yeah, it's just one way or another, despite what they have in the bullpen, it feels iffy. Tyler Dolan asking value with Barrios against LA. I don't know. That is a tricky one. Barrios, I think, is probably going to fade a bit down the stretch this summer, especially a bit into August. And Kenta Maeda has been very strong. He's also got a good bat, and that's something that goes under the radar a little bit. Good hitting pitchers, yeah. And Kenta Maeda has been giving some strong 5-inning starts recently, and I think he's likely to do that again. So my answer to that one is no. I would actually be I actually bet the Dodgers -1 small, and I think there's probably value there. Barrios obviously can be great, but some questions concerning him, and I think Maeda is very reliable, and just the Dodgers just have a big edge in terms of the lineup, the bullpen. They're at home, so I would lean Dodgers -1, and I might actually make that one a bet pick in this show. That's just my opinion, though. Obviously Minnesota might wind up winning easily, but my sense is that Barrios is going to fade a little bit, and going up against a strong lineup like the Dodgers in this spot is making me nervous. So I would be leaning Dodgers there. Let's see other comments here. Rudgoo says I was leaning on Clevenger. I don't know though. Yeah, I think Clevenger's results recently have been for real, and I think we can expect him to have yet another decent 6-inning start. Maybe not 6 shutout innings, but 6 innings, 2 runs, 3 runs. And if that's the case with that bullpen going up against Chavez, and Chavez has been all right, but mediocre at best, kind of reliable, but just feels like the Cleveland is the way to go. Yeah, Hako Schofield saying Springer out in Houston game probably, and that would explain that one. Wow, Seth Hagen with an interesting comment here. Rangers are 13-1 in Hamels' last 14 home starts against a team with a losing record. Okay.
Well, that's pretty damn good.
Yes, although, Hamels, that was before Hamels was on the DL. That was a different Hamels than what we're seeing right now, right? And as we know, any starting pitcher, even the most elite starting pitcher, can easily. I mean, it's such a fine line between it really is a fine line between Clayton Kershaw and Bartolo Colon, and all starting pitchers, even great ones, are sort of vacillating between the two at all times. Going forward, I'm vaguely down on Hamels and expecting him to be a little bit overvalued. Like that again, though. Again, as Tomori and others said, this is not a good spot for Miami, and Justin Bauer is on the DL. So what are you doing here? Okay. Okay. All right. Okay.
Don't mind my head.
And then WNBA, I did take a look at the WNBA lines last night for sure. I have some opinions. I just need to check what the current lines are. But let's just quickly finish up MLB here. You know what? I might just give like a whole bunch of picks here.
What happened to the cool, calm, collected? I got it together. One step at a time, Pete.
I think we left that guy behind at right before the power
went out
here. Yeah, and now it's back to just insanity. No, I do think that if you just want to make one play today, fade Wade Miley. Team total over 2 minus 160 in the first 5 innings. But I think I will give a bunch of my other leans here. Let's see, what do I want to give here? White Sox and Cubs over 8.5. It's just that Rodon can be good. And actually maybe the White Sox team total over might be the best way to go. That's probably going to be 3.5, 4. Let me see what that is. White Sox, where the hell is that one? I guess it's not. Oh, there it is. Yeah, 3.5 minus 103 at Pinnacle right now. Lackey, again, not a guy who inspires a lot of confidence. I'd be leaning over on that one. I wouldn't necessarily be leaning to the White Sox at plus 181, but I would be leaning on the White Sox team total over. And maybe even there, the first 5 innings, team total over for the White Sox might be a good play. Let me just think about how I want to play that one. I'll think about that one for a second here. Again, Yankees under is a lean. Milwaukee, Washington under 10 is a lean. Oakland, Toronto. Valdez against Gray, I will give that one. That's an under. That's a pick. That's a lean that's a little bit stronger than some of the others. Under 9.5 plus 101. Oakland and Toronto. Sonny Gray against Valdez. Hopefully Valdez doesn't get lit up here, but I don't think he will. Oakland and Toronto, that's an official pick. Under 9.5 plus 101. Let's see. Other leans. Detroit on the first 5 innings with Fulmer is a lean. Let's see, other picks here. I'd have to say that Cleveland, despite everything we just said about them at -1, would still definitely be a lean.
I took him. I felt pretty confident about that today.
Then the Miami-Texas game, that's going to be a pick. Under for me. Under 10.5 plus 102 at Pinnacle. Straley against Hamels. Hopefully Straley, I'm expecting Hamels to not be good going forward in general, but I'm hoping he has a good start here. Straley, again, he had kind of an issue with his thumb in his last start because of an injury the previous start where he from an at-bat where he banged up his thumb a little bit. His last start wasn't that bad. It was a little bit off. Hopefully Straley will be okay. Hopefully Hamels will be okay, and I will take under 10.5 plus 102 at Pinnacle. If it loses, that's not great, but it's just one pick. And then you know what? I'll put my money where my mouth is as well with the Dodgers. Might lose, but the Dodgers are such a strong team. They've got they've got a good bullpen,
like them
lineup, they got a good everything. So some bats in the Minnesota lineup as well. But I will take the Dodgers -1. Again, when you put it at -1, just a very modest favorite line. And the money line part of that will be BetOnline, sportsbetting.ag -169, and UWager at -169. The run line part of that will be plus 126 at Pinnacle. So that's just a very modest home favorite line for the Dodgers -1. If they win by 1, it pushes. And if they win, as I expect them to, you get a nice little casher. And if it loses, you lose a little bit more than 1 unit. Not a huge deal. All right. And let's see. Other picks here. All right. So far I've given Dodgers -1. The team total first 5 innings over for Tampa Bay. I've given the Oakland Toronto under and the Texas Miami under. And that might be it. A whole bunch of other leans for sure, but I might just stick with those 4 picks for today. And now let's get to, let's see. Tomarino Tomor says, I like Maeda. Only second start since the All-Star game. Older pitcher should be solid on extended rest. Barrios can be tough first time you see him, though, sure. But again, I agree with you. I think Maeda is going to give a good 5-inning start. Bullpen's good. Lineup's good, and one way or another, I think that it's more likely than not that the Dodgers get a relatively comfortable win. All right, so I'm just going to quickly check the SPR odds here, and let's check the current WNBA lines because I handicapped the overnight lines, but they weren't market lines at the time. All right, let's see. Spreads and totals here. WNBA. All right, so let me bring up my WNBA notes. I did handicap all these games. Quickly bring up the WNBA notes here.
Jensen, I don't know. We really talked about that yesterday.
What?
Anywhere. I know we didn't talk about it in here. The Kyrie Irving potential landing spot. Now that the Cavaliers got Derrick Rose last night. Nice. He was hoping for a 5-year max $150 million contract. He got 1 year, $1.8 million.
There you go. That's just how it happens. All right. In the early game, I do kind of like San Antonio. I do kind of like the over, and the play that I really like is the San Antonio team total over,
that's gross.
which would be about less than 75, of course, which would be about 73.5, 74. San Antonio team total over. I also have a vague lean to the over in that game in general. Also have a vague lean to the San Antonio spread plus 4.5 at home. But the bet that I will be making myself will be the San Antonio team total over. Should be about 74 or so. So I'm definitely liking that one. Let's see. Yeah. Then the Chicago skyline against the Connecticut Sun. I liked it. The first line I saw was 7. Now it's down to 6.5, and I definitely would be leaning Chicago there. Connecticut, of course, is great ATS overall in the first half, but they lost their last 3 in a row before the break. The Sky started to really roll. They covered 5 out of their last 6, and at 7, I liked it. At 6.5, I like it a little bit less, but it would definitely be a lean towards Chicago. I don't know if I'm going to bet that though, because Connecticut obviously is a very strong team. Could easily get a margin win here, but I would definitely be leaning Chicago. Not sure if I'm going to bet it, but the San Antonio team total over, that is definitely going to be a bet. Let's see. I would also be leaning under 164 in Phoenix and Atlanta, and that is now down to 163. Yeah, I liked it when it was 164. Now it's down to 163. Phoenix, of course, losing ATS, kind of a sluggish team, and if they're going to get any wins, I think they're going to have to clamp down on defense, and Atlanta can be clamped down on. So I also like the under in Phoenix, Atlanta, and that's a bet that I'm almost definitely going to make. Then New York and Minnesota. That is, that's a tough one. Minnesota, it opened at about 12.5. Now it's up to 13.5. Obviously, Minnesota is awesome, but New York, found a little bit of a groove and a pace offensively at the end of the first half. They were on a terrible run for a while, but picked it up a little bit. And 13.5, a little bit of a high total. I'd probably lean New York here, and probably a little bit stronger, I'd lean to the over. It opened at 160. I like that one. Now it's up to 161. Some places have 161.5, and I would be leaning over 161 in the Liberty and Lynx. Liberty, I don't think they're gonna, Minnesota's gonna get their points. I don't think Liberty are gonna be able to stop the Lynx. And again, the Liberty kind of picking up the pace a little bit better offensively. So that would also be a lean for me as well. Then Indiana, Dallas, man, that is a tough one. That is a tough one. 2 kind of crappy teams. I guess I'd be leaning Indiana plus 6.5, but they have been awful ATS recently. I guess I'd lean that way anyway. Dallas can put up the points, but that's probably going to be a pass for me. And then the Seattle-LA Sparks game, also probably going to be a pass. They played twice this year. They're both very low scoring, so I'd have a vague lean to the under on that one, 163. But the Sparks did sort of have a kind of a disappointing loss in their last game before the break. They might have a bit of a sour taste in their mouth, and might come out here and get a big double-digit win and maybe go over. I would definitely lean to the under on that one though. But my picks in general: San Antonio team total over, Liberty Lynx over 161, and Phoenix and Atlanta under 163. I think more likely than not 2 of those 3 cash, maybe all 3 cash, maybe all 3 lose, but those are my picks in WNBA for the 6 games tonight. What do you think about that, Matty Ice? I just broke the hell down out of the WNBA.
It was impressive. I didn't realize you went through the whole card. I mean, I did, obviously. I was listening to, but I didn't realize that you would have
for sure
ahead of time.
For sure. Yeah. So some interesting stuff there on the WNBA card. There might be some other plays that I'm liking more closer to tip off, but I think those plays that I gave there are solid. Again, Minnesota, just a strong offensive team. I don't see the Lynx being able to, the Liberty, being able to stop them. And Phoenix definitely sluggish right now, and then probably not going to put up a lot of points. And San Antonio, again, I like them to put up a very modest total for their team total over for that game. So 3 picks right there, and I guess we pretty much wrap this show up. Let's see if there are any.
Yeah, the guys are talking about Kyrie Irving now.
Mm-hmm.
Jensen or Tom Marino, guys, just in general. The more I'm reading this, the more I'm thinking about it. I think he's just kind of a dumb guy. I think he's just a dumb. I mean, first of all, he's a flat earther, so automatically a dumb. But I mean, he seems to be in a good situation. I don't think he has the ability to be the guy anywhere. So why not stick with LeBron James and try to get another ring or 2 or whatever?
Yeah, I saw just like I saw, obviously I saw it in the news. You can't really ignore it, but I didn't go in depth into what happened. What happened? He basically, I know that he said he wanted to.
Again, I didn't see a quote from him yet on that, but essentially that he wants out from underneath quote LeBron James' shadow, and he wants to be the guy. Which, while he's definitely a very good point guard, I don't see him being the guy anywhere at this point. Can any point guard be the guy on any team? I don't think so. That's more of a '90s NBA.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
Since Steve Nash, really. I mean, Jason Kidd, Allen Iverson kind of guys.
Allen Iverson.
Or Derrick Rose before he blew up his knees.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I mean, is LeBron, how many years of true eliteness does LeBron James have? Maybe have
That's
left.
a tough question. He certainly doesn't show any signs of slowing down.
Yeah,
as much as I'm not a fan.
For sure. All right, King Al asked about Milwaukee against Washington under. King Al, I discussed that kind of in depth already in this show. I am liking the under in that one. It's a treacherous pick because you got two starting pitchers who can get lit up. Davies is not particularly impressive overall, but he has gotten, he's gotten it done with duct tape on the road this year. He famously threw one of those 7-inning shutout starts with 0 strikeouts. Washington, of course, a huge lineup that can hit him. And Edwin Jackson, so far, has been good this year. Both those guys can implode, but it is a high total. And I did bet it a little bit, and it's a pick for me. And again, my totals in general are pretty decent, about 53.5% over a big sample size in baseball this year and long term. So I would be agreeing with you. Under 10 in Milwaukee, Washington. If Washington puts up 11 on their own by themselves and the game winds up being 11-8, that would not be the first time that I lost a total that I was leaning towards by a mile. But yes, I would agree with you. Under in Milwaukee, Washington. I'm not going to give that an official pick here, but I will give that one as an official opinion / as an official lead. All right, so
Kyrie loves musicals and show tunes. I like musicals. What the hell's wrong with that?
I don't know. Jim Rome's a douche says, Pete, I can smell the coochie from the mustache through my phone. Well, no, there is no. Did I most recently, have some coochie or take a shower? And the answer to that one is wash my face. Yes, I did wash my face.
God damn.
There you go. All right. So Rafael Mota says, what you mean you're leaning Yankees under? Elaborate on that. Well, I liked it a hell of a lot more at 10 or 9.5 than where it is right now at 9, and I will elaborate on that. First part of that is very important to take note of is Cincinnati starter Luis Castillo. Obviously working out the kinks as a youngster in the majors, but some great upside. Gets a lot of strikeouts and a lot of ground balls, and that is a vicious combination. I don't know if you knew that, Matty Ice, but Castillo has a high strikeout rate and a high ground ball rate. And that is a pretty sick combination if you can work out the kinks.
If you can work out the kinks, yes.
Now, he does, of course, have issues with control, which can pop up at any time. The Yankees have a great lineup as well. But Castillo is a guy who I'm looking to bet on in general. And Montgomery, a little bit up and down. Montgomery tends one of those guys who tends to look good and then has big innings, and he might get blown up as well. So, I liked it a lot more at 10 or 9.5. I bet it at 9.5, and now it's all the way down to 9. So, would I bet it at 9? I don't know. That would be borderline. But that is why I was leaning under in Cincinnati and the Yankees. And I definitely did bet it at 9.5. I missed 10. They had opener at 10, but I would have loved it at 10. And that's why I'm liking it. Castillo's a guy I'm generally pretty high on. And I would also maybe be leaning Cincinnati on the first 5 innings as well, like plus 145. If Castillo implodes, then fine. Of course, that happens with guys like him, youngsters with electric stuff. But there's a lot of upside for Castillo. Yes, Jensen Bonzone says, not as bad as Sanchez. Seriously, how bad can a blister be? Yeah.
I've seen the picture of it. It's fucking gross.
Really?
Yeah. It's bad.
It's a blister. He's like, look, I can't pitch today. I have a blister.
I used to always have those feelings, and then I don't remember. I think it was Syndergaard or somebody. It was. It wasn't even one that kept him out of the game. It was vile.
Oh, poor baby. Oh, he's got a blister. Okay, yes, you can go on the DL. The fuck is that shit? Yeah, what are they talking about here? It's a blister. Let's see. Who was talking about the blister? Who has a blister? I don't know. Can't find it. Yeah. All right. Whoa. Someone said, Pete, stay in your lane. Wait, what was that?
I don't know.
That is Cynthia Peters. Oh, okay.
What did I say? She was referring to exactly there.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Okay. All right. So let's wrap this up. My WNBA opinions and analysis are earlier on in this videos. Again, 3 picks. San Antonio team total over, which is an early game. The Phoenix under 163, and the Liberty Lynx over 161. And then for my picks, let me go over the card once again. Let me see. The Cubs and the White Sox. I guess I'll leave that one as just a lean, but the full game over 8.5, very, very tempting. Washington, Milwaukee under, that is very tempting to take the under, but I'll leave that one as just a lean. Obviously, both those guys can get hit. Toronto, Oakland under, that's an official pick. Detroit, first 5 innings, very tempting, but I guess I'll hold off on that one. But Detroit, a bounce back spot here for Fulmer. Very, very tempting. Let me see. Very, very tempting. Yeah, it's a little bit high. Minus 145. I'll stay off on that one. Cleveland, -1. Damn it, very tempting. But Cleveland is just they've been so bad as a home favorite this year. Although it's just so friggin' tempting to take Cleveland here. I don't know what I want.
I took them for you this morning already.
Yeah?
I already got them.
Should I go on there
on
with
the run
you?
line, not on your one line?
Yeah. No, I think that is smart because you're going to get there's high volatility with Cleveland. They're either going to lose or win easily. And
I don't know. Today I felt like taking favorites on the run line.
Yeah, well, there's some good spots. I think the Dodgers are a good spot. Yeah.
Yankees, I believe.
Tampa Bay, team total over, first 5 innings is official pick. Miami, Texas under.
Don't do it.
10.5 is an official pick. Dodgers -1. I made that one an official pick. And you know what? I will do it. I'll do it. I'll throw on Cleveland -1 just as an official pick. What the hell? Hopefully it won't get
dragging me down, man. All right. We're on it together.
All right. The money line part on that one is -159 at Pinnacle. And the run line part of that one is +121 at a bunch of places, Pinnacle as well. So hopefully Cleveland can pull this one out. Hopefully Mike Trout won't come in and carry the Angels on his back. But I'll take Cleveland. Hopefully they won't get burned. Just a very small home favorite line for the -1 line. And I will take Cleveland. I'll throw that one on there as well. -1. Hako Schofield just said, oh, no. All right. Okay. I don't know whether that was okay. All right, South Bay Rider. Where can I find Pistol Pete's official picks?
Said him out loud.
I just said him out loud. I'll say him once again. Dodgers -1. Texas and Miami under 10.5. Oakland, Toronto under 9.5. And the Cleveland -1. That's a borderline one. I probably will wind up regretting that one. But the low-hanging fruit of the day is a fade of Wade Miley. Tampa Bay, first 5 innings, over 2, -160. And that's about it. That is about it.
I'll put that one on my shoulders if you don't want. That's could be Matty Ice's first official pick.
Yes.
Don't bet that, people, by the way.
Hako Schofield saying Cleveland at home, Pete, ? Look, they swept Toronto. You know, I was on one of those games. Clevenger definitely dealing, pitching pretty well. Chavez goes on the road here. Cleveland does have a good bullpen. Yes, I am going to take him on -1. If it loses, it loses. What the hell? Hako Schofield, if I have to eat a loss, I'll eat a loss. All right, let's wrap it up. It's been another crazy show today with yet another power outage, but we made it through. We gave a bunch of analysis and gave a bunch of picks. And we'll be back tomorrow for the Wednesday card.